kerfuffle that happened as well.
Yeah, they had an argument.
And I think that all that's got sorted now. I mean, whether it's well and truly kind of sorted, who knows? But I think kind of there's an understanding on the pitch now, and it's back.
Yeah.
And I think that's helped both their play, to be honest. And Mane still has been the out and out player, but Salah's he's got his groove back.
It was interesting because for a while, Salah was a differential because it was only in about 20% of teams.
Yeah.
And last two seasons actually, he was like a no-brainer. You'd have him in your team, and pretty much most people would just captain him every single week.
I still think you should have him in your team at the moment, and it hurts for me to say this as a Man United fan, but he's the best player in the Premier League, and he's a confidence player.
Yeah.
And do you know what sets Salah apart from any other player in Fantasy League is he thrives on confidence. He scores one, he then goes to look to get the second.
Yeah.
He then likely gets an assist. He's not just like a Danny Ings who will turn in one goal, there you go. Or like Calvert-Lewin, there's a goal for you, there you go. He is a player you can...
He's the Messi of the Premier League.
Yeah, you get
in terms of that skill
points.
and that, individual goals, you can score individual goals. And
I think, the fact Mane is out is clearly the reason that he's
definitely
uplifted in everyone
more
else's
than
team.
More than anything, you've got someone like Firmino who's just kind of, he hasn't scored a goal at home this season. All his goals have been away from home, but he's just an assist machine.
Yeah.
So, he helps Mane and Salah out big time.
But when you need someone to step up to the plate, like Mane is injured now, Salah has just stepped up. And it felt like someone had to for you guys to keep getting the goals in, and it had to be him. And he hasn't disappointed, he's delivered. So there he is. He's the Klopp of the week, Sean.
And with all awards, it has to be a winner and a loser. The loser has to be the flop of the week. And this week, it has to be my team. It has to be two-bedroom villa, my fantasy Premier League team.
Why?
Particularly my midfield and my attackers. Between all 7 of them, there was not one goal or one assist between my midfield and my attack. So, De Bruyne, Cantwell, Maddison, Grealish, Aguero, Calvert-Lewin, Danny Ings. Be ashamed of yourself. Look at that. That's a star-studded cast there.
Terrible.
They've been great all season and not one goal or assist between the lot.
You boys are upset, Sean.
I'm done.
And Sean John McGinn fanboy, I've just looked through the whole of the game weeks, and it is your lowest score of the whole.
Probably the lowest score of any team this week.
So, but it's unlike you. You'll be back next week, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And he listeners, does still have his triple captain, right? You have your bench boost. You have all your chips.
I use my bench boost. I have my wild. I have my wild card. I know. I haven't used my triple. Still got that. So saving my triple, but my wild card is going to come out this week.
Bench boost's gone.
Bench boost gone. That's a stupid chip. Anyway.
Yeah.
We do need this new chip, the hindsight chip. It needs to happen. You should get one every single week.
18 points, Snoddy.
Listen, if you want it, right in.
Sean, you have been our long-time leader for a while.
Yeah.
Your team's a little bit like a good woman. Stay on top for a while and then come second. I think that's what's about to happen. We've all heard that. Every football fan has heard that.
If she finishes this.
If she gets a chance. Okay, excellent, gents. We will be back in the second half with rambling from the dugout. Rambolino.
See you then.
Looking forward to see who's dialing in. Thank you for listening. We will speak to you again soon.
Hey.
Welcome to part 2 of Left Back in the Changing Room. Way indeed. Hello, listeners. We're back on this.
We made it back.
Super Bowl Sunday. Got a big one here in America, haven't we, today, gents? It's
49ers?
The 49ers versus Kansas City.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Who are you gents rooting for?
49ers.
Yeah, all the way.
49ers? Sean John McGinn fanboy?
Dirty bastards.
Yeah,
69ers, right?
You going for the...
Shout out to Joe Montana. Listener of
Kansas City. Let's go for that.
I'm with you, mate. I'm with you.
They're favourites.
Nothing.
Are they?
Nothing good ever happens in Kansas, right? They're slight favourites, 52% chance win ratio, as they say over here, and a lot of points meant to be scored.
Fantastic.
The only good thing that ever happened in Kansas was Dorothy, and then she tapped her red heels and disappeared.
They always say the best thing to happen in Kansas is leaving Kansas.
Absolutely.
Rambling from the dugout, Rambolino.
Would you? Must be that time, listeners. We've got a Rambolino, a rambling from the dugout. Hello. Who do we have on the line?
Hey guys, it's Chad here.
Chad, hello.
Chad.
Wow,
Hey,
Chad.
hey
Welcome.
guys, I'm on the field down here in Miami just before the Super Bowl, the most thrilling match of the universe.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
Chad.
Wow, energised.
But you know, first things first, I gotta get my soccer ball team up to date.
Good man. You got to look after the number one sport, haven't
Good
you?
lad. Good lad.
I like your priorities.
Chad, calling all the way from Miami. What's your question?
Well, if I get beat on this, my buddies down the bar, they'll be ripping into me like, gee-ho.
Chad, who are you supporting in the Super Bowl, just out of interest?
The 49ers, obviously.
Oh, nice one.
So, guys, my question for you is, there's just been the transfer phase in the EFL, the English Football Premier League, Premiership League of the Century.
Yep,
and
we
I'm
know
just
it.
wondering, now that there's been the phase, who would be the best players to get into my team? Like, who is there any value out there? Any of the noobs coming in?
Great question. Deadline day.
Yeah, superb.
Centred
Any of the noobs that we should look at? I should just quickly say, out of the noobs, there has been 2 new goalkeepers that you can choose from, 3 defenders, roughly about 18 midfielders on there, and then 4 strikers. There's a couple that are not quite up on fantasy. You need to sort that out.
I'll kick off just first. There's one that took my eye. Just being a West Ham fan, we've got Jared Bowen. He scored, I believe, 14, 15 goals in the Championship this season. He's got a lot of assists as well, and we spent big on him, to be honest. And I think we need to, because it went on for, I think there's like 14 million, with 6 million add-ons as well. So 20 million is the whole deal.
Just before you tell us about him, just to call out there, Jared Bowen is one of those players not currently on Fantasy Premier League.
Correct.
He should be there in the next day or two. If you're listening right now, though.
Yeah, my guess is going to be coming, just where West Ham are in the Premier League at the moment. Obviously, they're in the relegation zone now. I think he will come into the fantasy either at 6.5, maybe 7 million. He's an attacking midfielder, and I think he would be a good shout, because the goals have got to come from somewhere, and Haller's not really doing it. So I would put my money on him out of the deadline.
So he's been playing for Hull this season.
He's supposed to be one of the standout performers. I think he's the 3rd top scorer in the Championship this season, and I think they're looking at someone who's proven in the English league, who knows the league, and fingers crossed for him.
And what was his stats like? How many goals in the Championship?
Yeah, so it was essentially, I believe he's had like 14 goals this season. Yeah, and I think he's got like 6 or 7 assists as well.
Yeah, 7 assists actually.
7 assists,
him up.
yeah, 7 assists
goals.
and 16 goals actually. Yeah,
5 yellow cards though.
5 yellow
Don't want him
cards,
doing a little Madison, getting a minus 1 point.
Got to keep his cool head. But yeah, West Ham obviously in the relegation zone would need to sort it out there. Disappointing result against Brighton at the weekend as well. But yeah, that's one I would call out.
Excellent. Sean?
There's one funny transfer in here. Danny Drinkwater.
Yeah, Burnley, right?
Only 4.4 mil.
Well, he was on loan at Burnley from Chelsea, and he's now on loan at Aston Villa. Right? After only playing once for Burnley last season, in their defeat to Man City. But do you think he could come into that Aston Villa team and still do a job for them?
Yeah, he's a good set piece taker as well, Drinkwater as well. So you can imagine getting him a couple of assists at 4.4 million. That's pretty good.
The one thing is, I don't know what shape he's in. If he didn't get a chance at Burnley, is there really much?
I'm not rating him, mate.
He could take a couple of game weeks to even.
He's 4.4 million. I saw him play. He's already played this season. He played a couple of games.
He played against Man City. Transfer.
And he made an awful mistake. Many awful mistakes. Didn't they get beat like 6-0?
They got.
Yeah, mate. Don't get Drinkwater.
But Aston Villa in general, apart from Grealish, it's hard to look past Grealish and really, where the points are going to come from. But I see Drinkwater.
He's not awful. He's not awful.
He'd be a good backup player. It'd be a good someone to have on your bench.
Well, Villa are struggling without John McGinn, so maybe that's why they signed him to.
So Sean, is your shout out to Chad? Is it Drinkwater, or is there someone else you reckon that's a bit
someone
better
to watch? Apart from that, I don't really know. I think I'll stay away from most of them at the moment. I don't really think there's anyone in there that I'll be flocking to right away.
And NVD, any advice for Chad? Any players that have come in this transfer window that you would recommend?
Yeah, I mean, just to what John McGinn fanboy said, I don't think there's anybody that I'm going to target. I think the only one person, and I'm going to pick a defender actually, is Walker Peters. So last season in the FPL, he was pretty good.
He was a good player.
I think he's a right back. Obviously, kind of, there's a lot of players in that position for Tottenham. Hence why he had limited game time. But the games he played well. He chalked up assists and a goal as well. So you never know. Kind of coming into a Southampton team, they've got it all to play for, right? And he's got a chance to shine.
Well priced as well. 4.4.
So if you're really just looking for someone who's either going to sit on the bench or a cheap defender,
as well. Southampton are not too bad at the moment. Although they lost 4-0 this weekend against Liverpool. Two
that could be
goal-hanging goals at the end from Salah. Great goals. No, not really. But no, Southampton good team, so could be a good one. A couple of others I've got to call out quickly. Neil Minamino. He's looked like he's had a few chances. He's not quite at the races.
Yeah, 6.5 million.
Yeah, should have scored against the Saints.
6.5. You know what? I saw him in FA Cup, and he's come on as a sub a couple of times. He's a great player. He really is. I mean, like we clearly on the form that we saw when he played us in the Champions League, we kind of went on that and bought him. But he looks a little. He's not the races. Is really kind of what I've seen at the game. The game's passing him by a little bit. Yeah, needs a good few games to really kind of get into the pace of the Premier League. I'm surprised Klopp started him, to be honest, because he's shielded a lot of players before, like Fabinho and even Robertson, and then only introduced them when he felt they were ready. But this guy's going to been thrust in, but I wouldn't take him.
What is his natural position? Is he an attacking midfielder? Is he a winger or more like sit behind the striker kind of?
Yeah, he can play those two positions. So I mean, he's more of an attacking midfielder. He can almost kind of play in that false nine position as well. But you've obviously got Firmino who's so good in it. But I think kind of with Mane coming back, and I think Mane should be back for the Norwich game, he's not really going to get too much of a look.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't look like he's quite ready yet. I wouldn't be putting him in. He's expensive. I think one of the other ones that people have been talking about is Bruno Fernandes. Played yesterday, first game for Manchester United.
Looked good.
He looked very good, yeah. Really, very confident, up for taking the game by the scruff of the net, has shots. Yeah. I think he could be worth a look at. He is 8 million. That's the only problem. It's quite pricey, yeah.
Is he attacking midfielder as well then?
He is, because I was thinking, Maddison out, perhaps him in, but then that gives me a problem with no Salah, and I think that's dangerous.
That's intriguing, actually.
Yeah. I think that would be interesting, kind of when Rashford's back, because I think kind of what he'll give Martial a little bit that more freedom to go forward. Yeah, and I think he can operate in between those lines. So he's a good shout. I mean, we all know he's a class player.
And the thing is, if you got him, no one else has really got him at the moment, so he could be worth a shout when he's not in many other teams. So the only other one I've got to call out Igalo, United's other signing.
Signing of the season, mate.
10 goals in 17 in the Chinese league this season. What a record that is. I'm not too sure though. He's going to Chinese league, Premier League, big difference. And he wasn't good at Watford when he was here last time, so I wouldn't be looking at that. The other one is Samata. Has anyone heard of this guy? He plays for Aston Villa. He scored on his debut. He
played at the weekend.
1-1.
Yeah. I don't know. I've got
it's a replacement for Wesley. So Samata, you're mate.
Wesley not Snyder.
Yeah, what does he look like?
He looked very good, lads. I mean, for Genk, he got 7 in 20 so far this season. He had 23 in 38 last season.
Genk.
He's a goal scorer. He's not really an assist guy. But Samata, 6 million, not a bad shout if you're looking for a cheap striker. So, if you're looking at getting De La Feo out, he could be someone that comes in. He's got 1-1. Maybe the confidence might do it. Might run off of him. The only other ones that are worth, in my opinion, calling out for you, Chad, Steven Bergwijn. We already mentioned him. Yeah. Tottenham lad.
Great volley.
What a goal today.
What a goal. Yeah.
I think he could be worth looking at, boys. He's certainly got a interesting stats himself for PSV. Yeah, he's massive assists. 22 assists over 49 games.
7.5 million. He came in
19 goals. Yeah. He's very good. 7.5 million. So I would say, personally, I think Steven Bergwijn definitely worth looking at. Fernandes for me is worth it, and I do think Samata. And then what have you boys adding to that? You're adding your West Ham lad.
Yeah, I would say the Bowen. If you want to take a punt on him, he's going to be straight into the first team. I don't see him, see West Ham paying that much money and not playing him. So I think he will play either on the left or the right wing.
Yeah,
assisting Halle Hammer. So I would go for him.
And Sean's all in on drink water.
Yeah, drink water. Stay away. Stay away.
Stay away. And Neil's all stay away from Minamino. So Chad, there you go, mate. How's that?
geez, bros, you guys are so damn knowledgeable. Like, I don't know where I would be without you guys. But yeah, so now I'm down here at the game and I'm going to open my Bud Light.
Bud Light. Good man. Good man. Thank you, Chad. Good luck to the 49ers. Let us know how it goes. We probably won't watch. Oh, of course we will watch. Of course we will. That's
that's a good question. A lot to debate there. But this brings us into a very interesting game week as the Premier League have chosen to do a winter break but spread it over both these weeks. And as a result of that, we have 5 fixtures this weekend and 5 the following weekend.
Yeah.
So each team will end up with 2 weeks of break. It's just they will be getting it slightly offsetting times. So I don't really think that should